Okay, so this is part two of the StableSwap video. I had to redo it again because I recorded on the wrong screen for half of it, which is a massive, massive pain. So that's that's hours down the drain. So on that, if anyone wants to donate, I'm a full-time volunteer. These videos take so long. And yeah, if anyone wants to donate, my donation address is down below. I am aiming for that 1 million pDAI. So any donations help. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I'm going to continue the StableSwap breakdown from the Genius Mutt tweet. I'm also going to show you the pDAI chart and the pStables and how this StableSwap could be a mechanism to peg the pStables. This is what I'm interested in. I don't think it can be the sole thing that pegs the pStables, but I think it can be a mechanism that contributes to pegging the pStables. And if I was to really think about from the perspective of the people who do this, Richard Hart. Now, would he want to rely on just one thing to keep it pegged, or would he have a whole bunch of different things to help stabilize that peg and keep it really completely decentralized? I would think that it would be the latter. I don't know what you guys think. Tell me what you think in the comments below. So with that, let's get back into that video and let's continue where we left off. Oh, what a pain. Okay, so now if anyone wants to know my thoughts, here's the theory I had. When Richard Hart bought that Ethereum at that price, it might have been because of the sDAI activity going on over there. And I'm sure he was the top holder. So there is evidence, or I have heard previously, that Richard Hart is the biggest DAI stablecoin holder. Maybe something with sDAI wasn't going to deliver in the expected time frame, or some other issues. The key phrase from RH's videos is about onboarding a wide range of users. And also this, there was a lot of controversy around this. Some people were like, what's he doing? Some people are saying, yeah, this is 5D chess maneuvers. Honestly, I think it's the latter, and I'll tell you why I think it's the latter, that it's 5D chess move in just a moment. Hope you find it interesting. All free info. Learn, my friends. As Albert Einstein said, knowledge is free at the library. Just bring your own container. I've never heard Albert Einstein say this, but Albert Einstein has said many, many cool things. So I haven't liked all these tweets. So this is a cool little group, Hearts of Crypto. If anyone wants an invite, reach out to me. I'm happy to invite you into this. There's lots of alpha in this little video, in this little community rather. And then friendly reminder, last one. An IQ of 145 places someone in approximately the top 1%, top 0.1% of the population. This is considered genius or near genius level. To put it into perspective, an IQ score of 100 is considered average, and an IQ of 130 is typically seen as a threshold for being classified as gifted. A score of 145 is significantly higher and indicates exceptional intellectual ability. Haters, what has 145 IQ and is better than you? Me and my big PP. Here's a couple million of my cars. Oh, Dickie. This was Dickie's this was his outrage marketing phase. But realistically, the 145 IQ. Okay, trading's hard, and whether or not Richard is the OA or move the sacrifice funds doesn't matter. I think like it doesn't matter. Whatever happened with those sacrifice funds, with what happened with this, with that Ethereum, whoever is in control of it, I would honestly think it's due to the latter, that it was all about positioning themselves in a way that benefits in relation to sDAI. I don't know what you guys think. So shout out to Crypto Coffee for this tweet. Love Crypto Coffee, always brings amazing alpha to the community. So he was sharing about how the UI, stable swaps, and languages has all been updated with the new PulseX update. So as the stable 3 pool gets bigger, whales can convert between USDT, USDC, and DAI with minimal slippage. If the price exploded up, wouldn't it be nice to reach billions of people worldwide that could understand what the words mean? And so he's just got a couple of little pictures here showing how this actually happens. So minimizing the transfer, or minimizing the slippage and minimizing the fee transfer between USDC and DAI. So this is Ethereum from Ethereum, and then showing the different routing options and showing the upgrades on PulseX. Okay, so now the StableLP. So this is the StableLP chart. So it's just been launched. So you've always got that bit of a scam wick that you kind of need to get rid of to kind of get things stabilized. But obviously, when it comes to stable coins, they fluctuate, right? So there's things that keep them stabilized to a certain point. And the beauty of something like this is when you have these stable coins. So at the moment, what is it? It's at the moment it's ranged from around, what's that? 1.1 US dollar to the very low was 0.92 US dollars to US dollars. Now, there has been points in time where these stable coins have depegged. So USDT is depegged or USDC is depegged. Now, when you have them all in a pool like this together, the arbitrage that happens between these tokens is actually going to help maintain the strength of the peg. This is something that's really cool. And this is also what makes me think about, this is how the mechanism could work for a pStable peg. So the pStables, when I refer to pStables, I'm talking about it from the perspective of how Maria talks about it. So this is the Holy Trinity. So we got DAI, Tether, USDC, and then Maria in the middle. So is not. So the Holy Trinity had God and I think Father, the Son, the Spirit. And you got is peg. So it's like is not. So I made this and I've made a cute little sticker anyway, and I've put it on my computer. So that's just come through the mail the other day. So now this is why also I've been big on the idea of pStables. The majority of the market is focused on pDAI, and I honestly think that's the safest play. And the reason why I believe that's the safest play is because if you believe that Richard Heart is behind all of this and you believe that Richard Heart is going to help contribute to the pegging of pDAI, then the safest option is pDAI because it's his favorite. So if he has huge control over that and he owns a huge amount of the Ethereum side DAI stablecoin, he's also going to own a huge portion of DAI stablecoin on Pulse Chain. And so having him as the backing for that asset strengthens the narrative behind that asset compared to USDT and USDC. But now that I've seen these three tokens being combined, I would imagine the same thing is going to happen with the pStables. You're going to get the pUSDT, pUSDC, and pDAI getting combined in a pool. That's my hypothesis. I'm not saying that's going to keep it pegged, but I believe that's going to be one of the mechanisms that help it maintain that peg in the same way that this pool now with these three tokens together is going to help alleviate any depegging because the arbitrage is going to happen in it. Because the arbitrage bots are going to say, well, hey, hang on a minute. I can swap my DAI for this. Let's just say USDT depegs down to, I don't know, 8 cents. And then the arbitrage bots are going to go, I'm going to swap some of this DAI, which is $1. Now I can buy for $1, I can buy even more of these. So I can buy more of this that's worth 8 cents. So now I can have $1.20 of that or whatever the math is. And so it's going to help stabilize it, right? So this is the key. This is the thing that I've been thinking about a lot with the pStables, that it's somehow going to be the pegging is going to be assisted by the liquidity pools. And Richard Hart has spoken about wanting Pulse Chain to be one of the most liquid chains. So the way that the liquidity pools, the alpha behind the liquidity pools, the ease with which you can create liquidity pools with PulseX, I think liquidity pools is the alpha. I think that's the big alpha or one of the big alphas on Pulse Chain. I mean, there's a lot of other big pieces of alpha that we should consider. And the reason why I wanted to show this is because if you want to be more risky, like myself, you can get better value for USDC and USDT than you can for pDAI. But of course, you're risking the fact that, the big narrative is around pDAI, but you can get a lot more bang for buck for your pUSDC and pUSDT. So I'm just going to put that out there for you guys. Now, since this news, whales have really started to move on DAI stablecoin. Look at this buy, man. $19,000 buy. 10 million DAI was just purchased by this gigantic whale. 10 million DAI. So DAI has had a cheeky little pump today. It went up to, I think it was about plus 20%. Now that's on the back of this news. I don't actually, I don't want to call tops and bottoms anymore because yeah, I end up sort of pieing myself in the face, and I talk like I know, but I really wanted to just kind of put it out there into the universe just to see how, see how it worked. But yeah, I don't really like the, getting pied in the face by being wrong, and I'm happy to admit that I'm wrong. So that's no problem whatsoever. If I was to speculate on pDAI, I still think more of a dip is coming. I think perhaps a whale on this news has said, okay, yes, time to buy some more pDAI, but I still don't think we're in the bottom. I don't know why I don't think we're in the bottom. I guess just looking at this chart, I do feel that we can continue to dip another 90%. That's just my hypothesis. And speaking technically, and actually, if you want to get real into the technicals, the TAs, St. Wolf Crypto did a great pDAI video showing the technicals the other day. I'd recommend going to check that out. But you have a look at this level here. It's a very, very big level. This level right here. So I could certainly see it coming down to this level here. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm crossing my fingers. I really am crossing my fingers. I'm all about lower the better. I'm all about, if the bull market goes for a year, I want us to stay down for 11 months and just being accumulating for 11 months. And then in the last month, then we can rock it. That's what I want. That's the ideal situation for me, because I have, like I said, full-time volunteer. I get drips and drabs with any kind of freelance work that I can do with my architecture. But that's about it. So, okay, now let's have a look at these pStables. So the pStables, I've been showing these charts for quite some time. So this is pUSDC and pDAI, pUSDT and pDAI, pUSDT and pUSDC. Let's get rid of this. So we'll just come back to here. So let's just make this nice and easy. So 1-to-1, 1-to-1. This is something that I noticed at the start. They were very close to 1-to-1 because there was lots of things going on at this particular time with pUSDC and pDAI, and probably a lot of it had to do with the Atropa and the Atropa pools. So it was staying 1-to-1. And then, of course, the prices started to pull away as the narrative has moved towards pDAI. So the strength of pDAI is pulling it away from the 1-to-1. Maria speculates that pDAI will be the first one to peg, and then the others will follow shortly after. I am hoping that is the case, and that is how I'm positioning myself personally. The ones that have fluctuated the least is obviously pUSDT and pUSDC, but still, you can see pUSDC is still stronger. The weakest is pUSDT. And probably with all the news that's coming out with pUSDT, it probably is going to be the most risky. But again, if we have this, how could something like this? I mean, obviously the total supply of the pUSDT in this pool compared to the pUSDT in the total supply of USDT, or like USDT from Ethereum, in this pool compared to the rest of the world is probably going to be quite insignificant, I would imagine. So if something does happen to USDT, it could be a problem, but it'll be very interesting to see how this kind of liquidity pool responds to a condition like that. So the way that I'm hypothesizing is, eventually, let's just say DAI gets up to $1. How does it peg? Well, the mechanisms that peg it, again, we've got the 99 Capital video. 99 Capital's been all over this. Now we've got this Curve Finance video, as he's done a Curve Finance tweet, which I'll go over tomorrow, and I'll break that one down for you guys as well. But if we end up getting to a scenario where one pegs, we're going to end up having a situation like this, where hopefully they'll end up fluctuating around this region in the same way that we have the StableLP. It will fluctuate around this, and then the arbitrage will happen within this region. And the arbitrage is also what helps maintain that peg, along with all the other mechanisms that help it peg. Now, the ideal scenario then is if we end up getting a scenario like this, where it ends up having a pStable LP, and you put pUSDC, pUSDT, and pDAI all together, the arbitrage between them will create a scenario like this, where if too many people sell their USDC for DAI, then the arbitrage is going to swap its DAI for the USDC. This is how the arbitrage bots work. So in the end, they should stay fluctuating around the one-to-one mark. So this is the pStable, 1-to-1, 1-to-1, 1-to-1. This is exactly what we want. Now, if we go to PulseX, so there has been a few little changes. I'm going to have to do some updated videos for liquidity providing. You used to be able to go to liquidity here, but now you just go up here and go liquidity. And so now this has been added here. So you've got the pStables. So yeah, shout out to whoever's donated me this. So this is my donation wallet. So people have donated me this. Very cute. Thank you so much. So I've got my little, I've got my cute little amount of pooled DAI. So yeah, my little hex. So someone just sent me one. So thanks for that. I appreciate anything. So, all right. So the pStable. So the way that I'm looking at this now, okay. So if these pooled together, arbitrage then ends up arbitraging between this, whenever there's fluctuations, you would imagine the same thing is if it was pooled USDT stablecoin, so pUSDT, pooled USDC stablecoin, so pUSDC, pooled DAI stablecoin, so pDAI. You would imagine the same thing would happen here, where if there's massive fluctuations, the arbitrage is going to bring them together. Then I would also imagine the thickness of the pools. So this is what somebody sent me here. So these are some of the pools that have been created. So as these pools thicken up, this is also going to arbitrage the price between DAI stablecoin and then DAI from Ethereum. And then the same thing, they'll be the same. There'll be a pUSDT, and then let's say USDT stablecoin on Pulse Chain, and then USDT from Ethereum. There's going to be these pools as well, which arbitrage the prices between these two. So it's all about the arbitrage that's going to keep it, or that's going to help maintain the peg, plus all the mechanisms behind it. So my thinking, my hypothesis, this is my speculation, is you've got the MakerDAO, you've got the curve. I'm going to go into the curve tomorrow. So you've got the MakerDAO, you've got the curve. They're going to stabilize DAI stablecoin. So the Pulse Chain version, the Pulse copy, the pDAI, they're going to help stabilize the pDAI. And through the stabilization of the pDAI, it's the pDAI that's going to help stabilize the pUSDT and the pUSDC through scenarios like this, through massive fat liquidity pools like this, plus massive fat liquidity pools like this between pUSDT and USDT. Does that make sense? That's the way that I'm thinking about it. I don't know the math behind it. I don't know the specifics behind it, but that's the way that I'm thinking about it. That's the way that it's occurred to me as I've started to dive into this and study it. If you want to learn more, Decentralize Me. He's got some great videos. I also want to go through one of his tweets as well. So I'm going to go through the 99 Capital tweet as well on the Curve Finance. I actually hadn't looked at all that sort of stuff. That's the technicality stuff. I just read it and share it. Some people like reading it. Some people like listening to it. So I'll do that for you guys. So what do you guys think? I mean, honestly, again, I always go with how it makes me feel, whether it feels right or whether it feels wrong. And I have to say, when this StableSwap stuff came out, I was like, I couldn't concentrate for the whole day. My energy was like, I mean, even now, my energy is just so high. And it's like, it's crazy. And I just know, there's something to this. Whenever something is true, whenever it's like, this is leading towards righteousness, towards the truth, all my cells are vibrating. Everything is just going crazy. The universe is just like pouring itself through me. So it's like, yeah, I'm just seeing like Richard Hart he's got his roadmap and how he likes to attack things in the order of things. So let's just say again, pegging of the pStables. Let's say Richard Hart is behind it. Let's just say that's the ultimate goal, all the way up here, launching Pulse Chain. And then this step. Now let's say we're here. We've got the StableSwap. Maybe the next step is whatever, pStableswap. Then the next step is the MakerDAO contract or whatever it is. And eventually we're up here. So I'm just seeing like this thing just unfolding right before my eyes. And even if you don't believe it, you'd have to be crazy with all the hype and all the energy that's around it to go, you know what? I don't want to miss out on this. Like, do you really want to be in a position where, oh boy, pDAI now has hit 10 cents? Do you want to be in a position where it's like, oh, I missed out on that? Okay, yeah, you still can get a 10x, but at the moment you can get hundreds of X's, hundreds of X's. So I'm really hoping that people start to wake up, and I'm really spreading these videos around so people can make their own decisions. It's not financial advice. It's not me telling you what to do. This is me sharing with you my thinking and what I think and my hypothesizing around it. So this is part 2. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, any comments I would appreciate down below. Take care.